We are back with more of My Southern Home, and I'm here with Rosemary Calcese with Transformation Title and Escrow, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So it's such an honor to have you on the show because you're a Navy veteran with 7 years, and you're so passionate about what you do for the veterans in our community.
Yes, absolutely. We own a title company called Transformation Title and Escrow, and I opened up this company about almost 3 years ago now with a mission to serve our communities and offer superior service to our veterans and to all of those new home buyers in our communities.
So a lot of homeowners, especially if they're first-time home buyers, don't really know what title is. So for those out there that maybe they've purchased 2 homes, but they're still confused about it, what does that mean in the home buying process?
Absolutely. Title insurance is such a confusing thing. Essentially, title insurance provides insurance just like your vehicle if something happens. So if somebody were to come back and say, hey, that's my house, not your house, title insurance pays for an attorney and for somebody to investigate that claim without you going into your pockets for it.
Well, and that's a really big deal because especially if you have a home that's 100 to 200 years old, some things could get lost in translation over the years with the home and the chain of title.
Yes, especially here in Nashville, we have so many historic homes that have, just because you have a new house doesn't mean the lot hasn't been here for decades. So what can happen sometimes is, especially in these historical homes, is an interest from somebody many years ago was not correctly what we call divested. And what that means to the new owner is there's potentially somebody out there that can come forward and say, I own a quarter of that house because you never paid me out 50 years ago. Does the claim survive? That's up for us lawyers to figure it out. But you certainly as a homeowner don't want to enter in that type of litigation or investigation. Deed and real estate law is very confusing. It has tons of nuances, and it's not something that is thrilling.
Well, you say it's not thrilling, but it is thrilling for the homeowner when they have that protection, because what we are talking about sounds crazy, but it happens every single day.
Yes, it does. Most often, and lots of people do think that this is something that might happen every 5 to 10 years by random. It certainly isn't. I probably have 2 clients a month reach out for a claim for their title insurance somewhere in the country. And usually what happens is there's a survey and your landowner next to you built their fence in your backyard. It's called an encroachment. And when that happens, they'll call for their title insurance to see what part of their land has insurance and what part of it doesn't. And it's up to us attorneys to figure it out. But the great part is if you have title insurance, all of your legal and your expenses are covered, and so is your lender's expenses.
Well, and that's one of the big reasons why we're having this class on Saturday, November 18th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Marathon Village, because when it comes to home ownership, there are so many different nuances that you need to be prepared for and know about.
Absolutely. And one thing we specialize at Transformation Title with veterans, new homeowners, and homeowners that have tons of experience is we take that title commitment and really dissect it for them, explain to them what is an easement, what is on your land, what means something to you. If you're buying 10 acres and that's your dream is to not have neighbors, to sit and live in peace, and it's my job to make sure that nobody can ever take that from you. And so it's good for us to sit down, to dissect that, go through it, and make sure you're educated and you walk away from that closing table with a lot of confidence, instead of being brushed in and brushed out and saying, I think I have title insurance, but I don't really know. We want you to make sure you're informed.
Well, I love that word confidence, because buying a home is not scary when you have the right team. And when you think about team, you automatically think of your loan officer and your realtor. And they don't necessarily think about yourself. And even though they don't see you until the very end of the process, you're probably one of the most important parts of that process.
Absolutely. I always make a joke that they hide the real estate lawyers in the dungeons. So they put us downstairs, no windows, no lights, and we just look at deeds. That's actually not true. We do play a huge role in your transaction. We're the one making sure that all loans are paid off. There's no judgments. There's no outside liens. Somebody doesn't have an adverse possession of your house, and all of the things that can really take away that joy. And we don't ever want something to stop the joy of buying a new house. So we take our job very seriously. We do lots of research, investigation, lots of curative work. And then at Transformation Title, we want to make sure that all of our homeowners are educated to their comfort level. Some don't care. Some want to know everything. And if you're one of those people that does, we would love to have you out at the Marathon building so we can deep dive into these and answer all of your specific questions.
Well, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be with you, and thank you for everything that you do for our community.
Thank you. We'll be back with more My Southern Home in just a moment. And if you want to attend the VA loan class with My Southern Home University, go to mysouthernhometv.com and click on My Southern Home University.